All right, we're standing here at DMR Performance with Mr. Matt's 1990 Mustang GT. Now this is a 306 car. It's got GT40 tubular intake, GT40 heads. It's got Maximum Motorsports tubular control arms, strange coilovers, Racecraft tubular K-member. We got a Flaming River manual rack in it. And we just got done doing a little bit of engine tuck for a wire tuck. We did a rear mount battery. We did some gauges on the K-member or on the A-pillar there. I'll show you the engine bay in a second, show the interior, but just an ultra clean car. I mean, the body is, 10 out of 10 compared to 99% of Mustang Foxbodies out there. This thing doesn't have any holes in it, which usually the interior, they go to making holes, but interior is just like it came out of the factory. Ice cold air. Only additional hole that was made is one hole for the A-pillar gauge to stay up there. We're still working on the tune. It's a micro squirt car, so we're working with Leach Motorsports to get the tune dialed in. Right now, we're working on the idle strategy, so it's got a little bit of a surge that we're tweaking out. Other than that, it's running great. Ice cold air, like I said. The gauges are just, it's not all chopped up. It's nice. It's got a radio in it. Speakers sound great. It's 10 out of 10 interior. It's beautiful. Windows work. Windows work great. Locks work. So we did the map pocket deletes. Got the window motors working great. Got the locks freed up. So now it's all working good. And let's go ahead and pop the hood and take a look at the inside. Okay, we have popped the hood. We shut the motor off for now so we can hear while we're checking it out. So just a nice clean setup. We still have stock AC, stock pulley and accessory kit minus what we have over here for the Vortex supercharger bracket. When it came to us, there was another shop that installed the supercharger, and we ended up kind of just realigning all the pulleys and making sure that the fitment is great with the serpentine kit and the supercharger belt. So you won't sling any belts, and it's just nice and interference free. We went ahead and converted from manual fan to a dual contour fan. So these fans pull upwards of 4,500 CFM, plenty enough to keep this cool. In fact, the fans are set to come on at 195 and the thermostat's at 190. As soon as this thermostat starts to open, it starts to cool down immediately, even without the fans. So just a real nice, efficient cooling system on here. Obviously, aluminum radiator. We ended up doing a wire tuck on this, just a small wire tuck, but over here it had the battery and had all the factory loom coming up, that corrugated stuff, plastic corrugated, but we've switched it over to black braided. We've gotten rid of, just washed the car, so we got a little bit of soap in here still. But battery's gone. All the wiring has been redone over here, so you can see it's all real nice and clean going up to the starter solenoid. We have an additional wire coming from the alternator to keep this thing charged up. We've got some new connectors over here for your AC because the factory connector was kind of bunk. So you got a nice weather pack connector there that's going up to the AC. We've sealed the diode, the one-way diode there, and comes up nice and clean into here. We got a map sensor set up on the firewall. This works with the micro squirt. So instead of being a mass airflow car, which would typically be right here, it is now a map car. So you got map sensor and air intake temp, and it's going to do its calculations based off that. So we've also got a catch can set up for a breather and oil separator. Doesn't have to be too big on this kind of setup. It's only making like 4 pounds of boost, so not pushing a ton through here. It is pump gas, stock bottom end deal. MSD distributor and Ford Racing wires. Got an MSD Street Fire coil. And what else do we have here? We did a wire tuck over here as well. So the main harness did come up and over, but now it goes down and in. And then we've got a fan controller there. We've got a main fuse for the alternator there. And then all the wiring comes up real nice and clean right there. We've got new grounds, and we got a breaker down there for your fans. So, and then we did, just to keep these contour fans happy, we did an additional, if you can see, 50 amp relay. So we're not using the small relay that comes with this controller right here. We're using the 50 amp relay there, and then we're using a 50 amp breaker right there to make sure that, everything runs nice and is protected. So that is it for the engine side. Just again, real nice clean setup. You've got little chrome whistles, bells and whistles right here. You got chrome hood brackets. You've got the caster camber chrome plates here from Maximum Motorsports. You've even got all ARP chrome bolts, which is very, very nice. It's a lot of attention to detail on this car, which is it's really nice to see. We're used to working with Foxbodies, even these brackets right here that hold the bumper to the core support. Awesome. You still have airbag sensors in here. Again, factory AC, which is nice to see. So you can cruise around in your hot rod. You can take it to the track. This thing is going to do between 400 and 450 at the wheels, depending on how the tune's set up. So nothing crazy, but it gets out of its own way. You can race it, you can drive it, use it as your daily. Just got fresh tint, fresh windshield. It's got a brand new rear glass as well before it came to us. It's got Weld SR71 wheels on it, which are just my favorite wheels of all time, especially for Foxbodies. I'd like to put it on my 06 GTO. Headlights, fog lights, everything works and is all new. Again, very, very clean setup. Now let's go in the trunk real quick. The trunk of this hatchback is, again, super, super clean, super nice. All factory carpet, factory upholstery, factory panels, no scratches, dents, dings, anything like that. We'll go ahead and give this thing a final vacuum out when it's all said and done. But we try to keep the rear battery setup as clean as possible. So you see there, you've got the main power coming through. Let me get out of my shadow here. Got the main power coming through, main ground coming through. This goes right down to the chassis. And we're grounded in 2 spots there. That goes down to the chassis, but then we also have, we've got this box set up on threaded rod that goes into riv nuts in the actual floor pan. So this is grounded, this rod's grounded. So we grabbed a ground here, and then we grabbed a ground down to the frame. And the engine up front is well grounded to the firewall, the core support, and the frame. So that's very well grounded up there. We're well grounded back here. What we've got on our main is a 2-aught to 150 amp breaker, and then we go forward 2 gauge, and that goes forward to the starter, and then from the starter over to the distribution block where it meets up with the alternator. So again, just a real nice clean setup, and this is NHRA approved. So if you without having a partition, you have to have a sealed box, and this has the partition or the tube that would come down. So if you ever want to run NHRA events, True Street, anything like that, and it requires a sealed box, all you have to do is add the tube, and you're good to go. But for now, this is more street and show versus an actual race car NHRA type deal. So that's the trunk, that's the rear mount battery. We saw the interior. Let's go over to the other side so we can see the other side interior. Here we go. Again, matte pocket deletes. Got the windows, locks working great. Very, very nice setup. You got your factory Ford mats. All the trim is nice. We've got a switch here for your overdrive. So it's like the new cars. You want your overdrive off, click it up, and that'll take it out of overdrive. So if you're racing, or for some reason you want to tow with this vehicle, you can click that and take it out of 4th gear. The window, side view mirrors work. All this works, functional, very nice. Cigarette lighter works. Radio works good. Again, AC, ice cold. I wish my truck was that cold. You've got the back seat, again, everything just real nice. So that's it. This is Mr. Matt's 1990 Mustang with a Vortex supercharger on about 4.5, 5 pounds boost. And it could be yours today. One last video here. I forgot to go over the A-pillar gauges. So over here, what we've got is an Innovate fuel pressure gauge. We've got a Innovate MTXD AFR gauge. And then we've got a vacuum and boost gauge from Glow Shift. So they each have their own color, so it's kind of easy once you kind of get used to the colors. We've got blue, we've got yellow, and we got red. So pretty slick. Like the setup. It gives you information you need and keeps you safe while you're cruising around.